In this lecture, we will understand the block diagram of communication system, which is a very important concept in electronics and communication engineering. Now, a communication system, it is used to transfer information like voice, data, images, or videos from one place to another with maximum accuracy. So here, first let us see the overall flow of the communication. So it starts from the information source, then to the input transducer, then comes the transmitter, which consists of the encoder and the modulator. Then you have a channel which acts like a transmission medium. Then you have a receiver, again, which consists of the demodulator and the decoder. Then you have output transducer, and last is the destination. Now let us understand each block one by one. So the information source, this is the origin of the message, and it will generate the information that we want to send. Okay, that is, it will produces the message or information that we want to send. For example, when we speak, our voice is the information. That is, I'm talking, I'm speaking, my voice is the information. Or when we send a message, suppose through WhatsApp or any other message, then the text will be the information there. Next comes the input transducer. Here the input transducer, it converts a physical signal into an electrical signal. That is, it will convert the message into the electrical signal. For example, we'll be having a microphone which will convert the sound waves into the electrical signals. So basically, it acts as a bridge between the real world signals and the electronic systems. Next comes the transmitter. This is one of the most important blocks here. So here the transmitter prepares the signal for transmission, and it performs three main operations, that is the source encoding, then channel encoding, and the modulating. So source encoding, it is performed by the source encoder, which will remove the unnecessary or the redundant information, and it will make the signal efficient. Then we have channel encoding, where we use a channel encoder which will add extra bits to detect and correct the errors. And last is the modulating, where the modulation process will be carried out by a modulator, which will convert the signal into a suitable form for transmission. For example, converting the baseband signal into a high frequency signal. So here it will prepare the signal for the transmission. Now these three blocks together, these act as the transmitter. That is the information source, input transducer, and the transmitter, which consists of the encoder and the modulator. These three blocks together forms the transmitter. Next comes the channel, which will act as a transmission medium. So this is the path through which the signal travels from the transmitter to the receiver. For example, here some example of the channels are twisted pair cable. Then you have coaxial cable, radio, which is a wireless. Then you have satellite link, optical fiber. These all are the examples of the channels or the transmission medium. So the channel, simply it will carry the signal. Next, here you can see you have a noise source. Now while the signal is traveling through the channel, it will get affected by noise. Noise, it is just an unwanted signal which is added to the channel, and it acts as an unwanted disturbance that will distort the signal. So here example for the noise are like you have thermal noise, electrical interference, atmospheric noise, and many more. And this is the biggest challenge in the communication system. That is, we want to remove the noise which will alter our message. Next comes the receiver. Here again, like here you are having information source, input transducer, and transmitter all together will act as a transmitter. Similarly, here the receiver, output transducer, and the destination, these three acts as a receiver. So the receiver, again, it will perform demodulation, then channel decoding, and the source decoding, the reverse of the source encoder, channel encoder, and the modulator. So here the receiver, it will do the reverse process of the transmitter, and it will try to recover the original signal from the received signal. And it performs what? Again, three basic operations, or the operations you can say. That is the demodulating, demodulation, then you have channel decoding, source decoding. Demodulation, it is performed by using a demodulator which will extract the original signal from the modulated signal. Then channel decoding, it will detect and it will correct the errors. That is, it is done by using the channel decoder. Then you have source decoder, which will perform the source decoding. That is, it will reconstruct the original message. So here the receiver, it will ensure that the received message is as close as possible to the original. So the receiver, it will recover the original message from the received signal. Next comes the output transducer. So this block, it will convert the electrical signal back into the physical form. That is, here input transducer, it has converted the message into the electrical signal. So this will perform the reverse operation. That is, it will convert the electrical signal into the original form, like sound, text, image, etc. Okay. For example, a speaker, it will convert the electrical signal into the sound. There it will act as a output transducer, or you can say transducer. So now we can hear the message. Okay. Next, last is the destination. So destination, this is the final point where the message will reach. So here that is, the information will reach the end user. For example, a person will be listening to the audio, or a user, he will be reading a message. Okay, so this is the end user of the communication system. So here the communication means what? Communication means transferring of the information, and the transmitter and the receiver, these will perform the opposite functions, and noise affects the quality of the signal. Here it is getting added into the message, so it will affect the quality of the signal, and the main goal is accurate and reliable communication. So what is our main aim? The information which we are sending, we must receive it accurately. That is our main goal. So here you can see here, this is just a function of each block here. Information source, it will generate the message. Okay, that is, the message may be in the form of voice, data, video, etc. Input transducer, it will convert the message into electrical signal. The transmitter, it will process and modulates the signal for efficient transmission, and the channel, it will provide the path for the signal transmission. Then you have the noise source, which will add what? Unwanted signals to our message. And the receiver, it will demodulate and decodes the received signal. Then comes the output transducer, which will convert the electrical signal back into the original form. And last is the destination, which is the final user of the message. So like one example you can say, you can think it of a phone call. That is, your voice, it will act as an information source. Then your microphone, it will act as an input transducer, and the mobile transmitter will act as a transmitter. Then you have the you have a wireless communication there, which will act as a channel, that is air, and the noise, it will create the disturbances. Okay, then the other phone, to which person you are talking, he is having the phone, that will be the receiver, and the speaker of that phone will be your output transducer. So the listener will be the destination. This is one example. So this is how the communication happens in the real life. So here overall you can say, this is how a communication system works step by step, ensuring that the information reaches from the source to the destination with minimum errors. Thank you.